Good afternoon, guys. A very warm welcome to the 31st episode of the Malkan Show. It feels super happy to be with you all this afternoon. And yes, before we begin, let's see who's joining us from where this afternoon. Can we have you guys introduced and where are you guys joining us from? And in the meanwhile, we've been having registrations pouring in for the webinar of 5th September called, the webinar is called The 6 Habits of the Super Successful People. What are the 6 secrets that super high performers have, and what are the 6 things that they operate on? So these are the 6 secrets that I'm going to be sharing on the webinar on 5th September. To be a part of this webinar, go to this link called malkanhpclass.com. I repeat, malkanhpclass.com. Register yourself, and yes, I'll see you at the webinar. And we have people joining in. We have Sagar from Pune. Hi, Sagar. Good afternoon. Welcome. We have Vinay joining us. We have Parth joining us too from Mumbai. Hi, Parth. Nilesh, as usual, joins. It's so good to see some of you who are repeated part of the show. Most of you students, sorry, some of you students and most of you outsiders, but it's a wonderful feeling. I cannot say outsiders, actually, we've all become this Malkan family, you can say. Every Wednesday we speak and we discuss on various topics. And this morning, I have Darren Hardy is one of my mentors from whom I've learned a lot. I watch a lot of his videos, read his books, and I'm an ardent follower of his principle called the compound effect. We spoke about it in one of the episodes. So something that he shared with me is something that I got in my inbox this morning, really touched my heart. It was an email that was received last week, which I watched, and the thought has been so deep and profound. I'd like to share that on this episode of the Malkan Show. So in the meanwhile, before we begin, some more people have joined in. We have Datta from Mumbai. Hi Datta, good to see you. We have Shiva from Bangalore and Anil Kumar from Mumbai. Hi guys, very good afternoon. So a very interesting story when Darren shares this morning. He says that once upon a time, there was an old lady who was going through a car on the highway. And while she was going through, her car broke down. And the place where she stopped, she watched a young man who just approached her. What's the problem with your car? Can I help you? Now, the way this man was dressed, it scared her because he was not the best kept clothes and attire. It was all dirty all over. So he said, nothing to worry. I'm just here. I don't need anything from you. I mean, because she must have thought he may expect a return favor. He said, I don't need anything from you. All I want is to help you. And then she said, fine. And that man helped her fix her tire. She had a flat tire. That man helped her fix her. And when she tried to repay with some dollar bills, the man said that I don't need anything. This is not something that I'm doing for money. But if you want to repay me, all that you can do is repay this kindness forward. I mean, if you think that I've been kind to you, just repay the kindness forward. I don't need money in return. The lady was surprised. The man, being the way that he is right now, he's still not accepting any money for it. She felt good that there was a warmth in her heart, and she walked away. And on her way back, she halted at a very dingy cafe, to get refreshed. And the waitress who was serving her was pregnant, full term, and from the face of it, she looked super tired. And she thought that, how is she going to be serving me? But then what she saw in the waitress was super enthusiastic. She was super looking forward to serve her and super energetic. She got her some coffee and gave her fantastic reception in return. The lady was touched. She was superly touched, and that reminded her of that guy who fixed her tire a while ago. She thought, why not I repay the kindness to this lady here? So what she did was, when the lady got her the bill, she gave her $100 bill. And she walked away when that lady went to get the change. So when the waitress returns, she sees that the lady is no longer there. And she left this $100 bill, the whole change, for her to keep. She was touched. And then she found a note on the napkin, the table napkin, which said that I am repaying this kindness, the same kindness that was passed on to me by someone else. All that I need to do is continue this chain forward. The waitress was touched because this was the money that she so badly needed at that point of time. And moreover, when she cleared the table, she found four more $100 bills below the napkin. She was super touched and she was excited. She went home, and her husband was there who was waiting for her to get back home. When she got back home, she just hugged her husband and said, all our money troubles are taken care of. This I got today exactly what we needed, and I love you so much. And she takes the husband's name, and he was the same guy who had helped the lady the previous afternoon, the same day. I mean, that was something that really touched my heart. So that guy, the kindness that that guy had begun with, had returned to him multifold the same day itself. Now, guys, when you see, it's all about the kindness that came to him the same day. It may not come back to you the same day or in the form of money. It for you, someone may not randomly leave you money, right? As in the case of this story, but what you give, what you help, the kindness that you're showing to people and the abundance that you're sharing with them, it all comes back, and it usually comes back manifold. The theory that earth is flat is gone. The earth is round, and that's the way the kindness comes back to you. It goes round and round and comes to you, but in the process of going round, it multiplies manifold times. So tell me something. What if you knew that every favor that you're doing to people is going to come back to you multifold? Would you still go out and do that, take that every opportunity to make a difference? Would you go out of your way to help people, or would you just pause and ask yourself that am I doing this to get back money? For do I really need to do this? Is that the question you need to ask yourself? Because what you're giving back, what you're giving is coming back to you, because it doesn't come back to the same day. It comes back bigger, much bigger. You have to continue the infinite process of giving, of helping, of contributing, of being kind to people. That's what it is. Haven't you experienced? Anyone would like to share here? That instead of waiting, you've gone out of your way and given it to people. Yes, so Anil shares, I keep doing that without asking in return or expecting. That's a fantastic thing. Thank you for sharing. So when you may not get it from the same person or in the same mode, but you'll keep getting it all the time back, right? So from today, maybe you could begin this change. Maybe instead of waiting to pay it forward, you can begin by paying it first. What say? Does it sound interesting, guys? I mean, it's something so simple, but I'm sure all of us can do it, right? So it's like you're beginning your own love chain. You need to get started with your own love chain. At least you can launch one today with whoever, with your family member or your friend. It's all about beginning, and then see it keeps rolling forward. And when you do that, you can give that message to that person that, hey, this is the love chain that I have begun. All you have to do is just take it forward. That's all. Yes, Anisha is good. Came back to me sooner or later. That's the first-hand experience, and that's, I think, most of us have experienced this at some point of time or the other, right? So it's a very, very simple principle, very oft ignored, but very important. So try to do this, guys, and as usual, do keep sharing your feedback on how's it going with you, how's it going with the small little actions that you take, and to be there for the webinar on 5th of September, do register yourself at malkanhpclass.com. We're going to be discussing about what are those secrets that leads to high performance, that makes them perform and lead the successful lives that they do. So thank you guys for being on the show, and I'll see you all next Wednesday again, same time. Thank you so much. Lots of love. Bye-bye.